Dr. Ingve, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I heard about you so many times.
Okay, that's great.
Looking personally.
Yeah. Sure. We'll meet shortly. Maybe I'm planning in December, so that time we can meet.
Definitely do come.
Yeah. Sure, sir. Yeah.
Sir, it's a 5:20 and already 420 participants are joined.
Yes.
Shall we start?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, hello, everyone, and very pleasant good evening to one and all. Myself, Dr. Subhash Deshmane, Assistant Professor, Anuradha College of Pharmacy, Chikli. During this pandemic situation of a COVID-19 outbreak, various faculty from the different stream, not only the pharmacy, engineering, BSc, and student of our also the different streams stayed at the home. So they should be benefited with the source of knowledge. For this purpose, the Anuradha group of pharmacy institutes organize the various webinar. Already two webinar we have completed, and this is the third and second international webinar is theirs. So to take the benefits of these situations, again, this international webinar is organized by our institute on the importance of self-reflection into the development. So in the capacity of a coordinator, I hereby welcome, first of all, the resource person, Dr. Praveen Kumar Ingre sir. He is a senior lecturer in Department of Pharmacy Practice, International Medical University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Also, it's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to the dynamic personality of ACP Honorable Principal, Dr. K.R. Biani sir. Sir, welcome. Also, heartily welcome the co-convener and the principal of other institutes, Dr. R.H. Kale sir, R.R. Pagore sir. Sir, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome all the panelists, those are present here, and all my dear participants. Before going to start, now I would like to call our principal sir, Biani sir. Please introduce today's guest. I request you to welcome and introduce today's guest, Dr. Praveen Kumar sir. Sir, unmute. Sir, unmute first.
Thank you, Dr. Subhash sir.
Welcome, sir.
Dr. Kale sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you called secretary sir?
No, sir. I will call you.
Yes. So thank you, coordinator Dr. Subhash sir. A very good evening, one and all. I heartily welcome on behalf of Anuradha Group of Pharmacy Institute. I welcome Dr. Praveen Kumar Ingre sir, all the panelists, and all the audience today logged in here. So definitely, I am very happy to put before you for this third webinar. Now we have started Anuradha Group of Institute. We have started series of webinars, and this is our third one. And we are very lucky to have such a person, such a great personality who proved himself. And moreover, we are very happy and we are very proud that he is an alumni of this Anuradha College of Pharmacy. So let me say something about my institution. Anuradha Group of Pharmacy Institute is represent three basic pharmacy institutes. One is Anuradha College of Pharmacy, second is PRMSS Anuradha College of Pharmacy, and third one is Karmayogi Tatya Budre Institute of Pharmacy. All these pharmacy institutes are located at Chikli Town, Tehsil Place, District Buldana in Vidarbha region. Anuradha College of Pharmacy is a pioneer pharmacy institute in the territory of Amravati University, established in 1994. We have our proven academic record. Our alumni stand at their prove themselves. The example is Dr. Praveen Kumar Ingre sir. Now we are already accredited by National Board of Accreditation, and definitely now this is the lockdown period, and as discussed with our management wants to have the interaction with the legend personality in the pharmacy from the India or outside the India. So this is our attempt. And first of all, I congratulate Dr. Deshmane sir, Dr. Subhash Deshmane. He is a coordinator. He took many efforts, and he had the contact with Dr. Ingre. That's why it could become possible for us to have Dr. Ingre here for this particular topic. Topic is very excellent. And friends, as this is the period of lockdown, so this is the best way to communicate each other without leaving our places. We are joining, we are meeting with each other. So I am very happy we are sharing the knowledge, and be with us in the coming days, in the coming weeks. We are going to continue this webinar series, and definitely we will try our level best to have the different eminent and great personalities related with our pharmacy profession. Once again, I welcome and I extend my thanks to Dr. Praveen Kumar Vishwanath Ingre. Sir had the qualification MPharm, MBA, and PhD, and presently is working as a faculty at Department of Pharmacy Practice, School of Pharmacy, International Medical University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Sir is alumni of Anuradha College of Pharmacy. He did his D.Pharm in 2001 from Anuradha College of Pharmacy. Then B.Pharm, Bachelor of Pharmacy from the same our college, Anuradha College of Pharmacy in 2004. Then he did his M.Pharm in Pharmacy Practice in 2006 from Dr. MGR Medical University, Tamil Nadu. Then he did his PhD from North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. He has 14 years of teaching and editor-in-chief experience of 10 years. Dr. Praveen Kumar has published more than 50 research articles, supervised as a guide for PG and UG students. Then participated in more than 35 national and international conferences, served as advisor for 6 international postgraduate conference on pharmaceutical sciences 2018, held at International Medical University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Served as assessor, examiner, evaluator for PG, UG, and PhD theses for well-known universities. Actively involved in designing, developing, curriculum mapping, and content delivery of newly launched Master in Pharmacy Practice postgraduate course with clinical research specialization. Involved in curriculum review, mapping, development, and designing case-based learning, problem-based learning, OSCE. Apart from teaching and administration, also involved in developing teaching tools, teaching and coordinating other academic activities, sessions like blended learning, objective structure clinical examination, case-based learning. So many tools are there. He has also extended community services, noble services, IMU care home leader for one of the handicapped and disabled children community home center. He is having the membership, registered pharmacist with Maharashtra State Pharmacy Council, life member of Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, Indian Hospital Pharmacists Association. He is the founder and president of Hari Vishwa Education Society. Now I welcome such a great personality who is alumni of Anuradha College of Pharmacy, Dr. Praveen Kumar. We are proud of that you are alumni of our college. On behalf of management, I heartily welcome you for this particular session. Thank you so much. Once again, I welcome my principal colleague, Dr. Kale sir, Dr. Pagore sir, and also congratulate and extend thanks to the coordinator, a very enthusiastic, my younger brother, Dr. Subhash Deshmane. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your love and affection. Now, before going to start the sessions, I request all the participants, if you have any doubt or queries, so simply you have to mention into the question and answer box only, not into the chat. Now, without taking much more time, already it's 5:30. I request my friend Dr. Praveen Kumar Ingle. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah,
First,
yeah,
first
sure, sure.
inaugurate.
Yeah.
First inaugurate. Hello,
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bharat sir.
Yes. Bharat sir going to inaugurate.
Yes, sir.
So I request Dr. Praveen Kumar sir first inaugurate this session.
Okay, okay, sure, sir. Thank you, Maru. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Tell you it's ready.
So you just maximize it.
Okay.
Okay, 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 sure, sure.
Thank you.
Nice. Congratulations, sir.
Okay, now I request sir, please start the session.
Sir, unmute please, Praveen sir.
Praveen sir, unmute. Unmute yourself.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Biani sir, for giving such an introduction about me. Okay, and then I will start with my session. Just I will share my screen. So are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and hope you all are doing well in this pandemic scenario. So thanks for inviting me as resource person for today's international webinar. It takes me in my olden days of learning time in Chikli. The list of gratitude may be long as I am having some special bond with ACP family. At the outset, I would like to thanks to all management team members of ACP, especially Honorable Shri Siddhivinayak Ji Bondre and Honorable Shri Rahul Ji Bondre for making pharmaceutical education available at their region. I'm glad to see the growth of ACP in pharmacy education and its team leader and team efforts that made it possible to grow all ACP institutes at this level. I would like to thanks to Dr. Biani, Dr. Kale, Dr. Pagore, Shailesh Ji Barad, Dr. Subhash, and Dr. Gawai, Dr. Laddaji for organizing this international webinar. I would like to thanks to all my respected teachers, those contributed to enhance my knowledge and learning processes when I was at ACP. Also my classmates, seniors, juniors, those are working as a faculty member in ACP family. And at last but not least, dear pharmacy student and all online viewers, those are watching this video. So coming to the topic, so regarding today's topic, I tailored the content of presentation in regards with my today's audience. So just I fine tune the content that mainly facilitate my audience with the Indian curriculum. So I kept that thing in my mind and then I prepared these slides, the presentations. In this presentation, I given my own views, opinion, and use some literature and my own experience to learn from it. I am presenting this topic not only in consideration with the student and faculty, but also keeping being good human in mind. So this topic, self-reflection, is not only limited to pharmaceutical education, but it's all about motivation and how you can analyze yourself in your own way for the better future. Wherever possible, I try to quote some examples that will provide some insight of the topic and better thinking and understanding of this particular self-reflection in development. Okay, so I will start with my presentation. So, importance of self-reflection in development. So first of all, I will start with the introduction. So these are the key points I want to discuss with all of you. What is the aim of conducting this lecture? Or we can say like I'm presenting, it's online. So it's an initiative taken by your institutes. So I appreciate and congratulate to all of you for initiating and conducting this international webinar. So everyone should know what is the importance of self-reflection in the development. So that development might be, wherever you're working, the development might be it's related to your family. Development might be related to whenever you're learning something, whenever you're a student. So I will start with the introduction. Then another key elements is a self-reflection. So what are the different key elements are there for the self-reflection? What is the importance of self-reflection in development, the process of self-reflection, and what actually message I want to deliver to all of you. So if you're listening to me and then I'm able to motivate some of you with the self-reflection writing, so that I believe that is a success of this today's international webinar. Okay, so just we'll start with the introduction. So what is the actually definition of self-reflection? So self-reflection is about self-analysis in your own way for the better future. Think about your past, learn from your mistakes, and plan for better future. So thinking about any experience and try to find solution for betterment. So you can see the image here, the figure here that I have provided here, right? So you can see the reflection. So the photographer is capturing the photo and he can see his the reflection over there. So what is the meaning of reflection here? So it's not only you're looking at the mirror every time. So everyone is having the mirror in their home. So we are looking at the mirror every day. So that part I will discuss later. But coming to this self-reflection is need to see your past and learn from the past, what mistakes you have done in the past. So you need to see that, and from that experience, you need to adopt that mistake, and then you can have it as a self-reflection. So my own views and opinions, literature, and my own experience about this self-reflection. So I will also the other type of self-reflection definition, how we can define self-reflection. So because there are many definitions available in the literature, but what I presented earlier is my own way, how I understand the self-reflection topic. So self-reflection is also defined as meditation. So all we know, all we are following the meditation, from many years, we are following the meditation, and we know the benefits of meditation. Okay, so self-reflection is defined as meditation or serious thoughts about one's character, actions, and motives. It's about taking a step back and reflecting on your life, behavior, and beliefs. So basically, whenever you're planning anything, say suppose like you're planning something for your career. So 5 years is the time period you can plan. You can see your past, you can see your present, you can see the future in it. So when it is possible, whenever you're writing something, it's a self-reflection. So obviously you need to think, what do you mean by self-reflection? And by that way, if you're going to your past and then looking at your past, you may have done some mistakes. So from that mistake, you need to learn. And after learning that process, you need to prove yourself and do betterment in your future life. So this is about the past, present, and future. So you might know about this Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha, they have given, somebody asked to the Lord Buddha, what have you gained from the meditation? So Lord Buddha said, nothing. But however, I lost anger, stress, anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear of old age, and how we can improve. So at the another side, if you're looking at the self-reflection, you can see how you're improving from your past. So might be, say, suppose I'm giving my example here. I was student in ACP, and then I grown in such a way that I completed my MPharm, I completed my PhD, and then I started working in Malaysia. So how this happens? So because of I reflected in some other way. Maybe I don't know the term that well, but I try to be reflected myself, and then I grown in that way. So everyone can, self-reflect. So you need to see where I'm standing today, and then you can think about your future, where I want to be. So in that way, self-reflection will be beneficial if it is related with the student or maybe related with the faculty members. So faculty members, they can think about, say, suppose they completed their MPharm. So they can think about their PhD, the higher level study, the PDF, postdoctorate. So in that way, you need to think and you need to activate, ignite your critical thinking. So it's not about the negative thinking only, but always you need to see in a positive way. You need to see the many perspectives of the problems, and by that way you can move forward for going to the next level. Again, coming to the next point is a reflective question to ask yourself. So how you can improve yourself? So self-reflection is developed and is actually the ability to understand your emotion. So what components actually it's related with the self-reflection? So the first of all is emotions. So one can understand what is my emotion, what is my strength, what is my achievement, what I did up to this level, what is my happiness. If I'm playing, badminton, if I'm playing cricket, so that is your happiness. So do that type of things wherever you find happiness. So every person is different. So we cannot tell like, okay, I don't like the badminton. So it's depend on, person to person. So happiness, every individual may have happiness in doing something. Some may like cooking. So it's up to the individual, So solutions. So what particular solutions you will get after that? So knowing your emotions, your strength, weakness, obviously you will find a solution for it, right? So weakness and then problems. You know your weakness, what are the problems, and how to proceed, how to tackle with that particular problem. So for that, you should know your values, your goals. What is your goal for the coming time? What skills you have and what skills you need to adopt. So as you know, we are facing now this corona pandemic. So what particular skills we adopted? So here in Malaysia, like, we are following online teaching from few years. So many years actually we are following the online teaching. So it's very easy to shift from one platform to other, but some universities, they won't have this type of, background. So they need to struggle, they need to do a lot of efforts to develop their skills, and then they develop meanwhile. Okay, so that is the way how you can improve your skills. So better way to have the backup plan instead of, rushing at the last moment. Okay, so considering all this point, again, I want to tell you about the impact. So what is the impact of all these components in your work-life balance. So what do you mean by work-life balance? So work-life balance is considering your workplace as well as your life. So you have the as a student or as maybe the faculty. So you have all the family members with you. So might be like student is having their parents and grandparents, the faculty members, they have their the children's or maybe like spouse and their parents. So you need to manage that. You need to manage the work-life balance. So you need to do the job as well as you need to balance your life. So that is the factor coming here, and it is possible due to the way you manage your work. So that again, the time management. So you need to be very clear about your time management, what to do and how to do and when to do and things like that, right? So building these skills will improve both your personal life as well as professional role as a leader. So as a leader, so as like you're leading some organization, so you should be clear with your vision and goals. So if you're not clear with your vision and goals, the leader cannot guide to all the faculty members or all the organization people. So he should be very clear about vision and the mission of the organization. So I actually developing these all skills just now we discussed, right? So is that only eating almond is sufficient to get all this type of critical thinking? So the answer is
No.
yes, but it will only fulfill your nutritional aspect, right? So eating almond is not only the choice. You need to be a great thinker. You need to be critical thinker. So that's how the role of critical thinking comes here. So as you know, we have our conventional teaching. Okay, so compared to that, now we shifted to the online, and now we can learn from each other. So I'm some points I'm also learning from the international webinar. Okay, so it's like learning from each other. So eating almond is helpful. Okay, so I put the question mark there. So as you know that there are many nutrients, beneficial components in the almond that mainly contain the proteins, fiber, vitamin E, magnesium, calcium, and potassium. And also comparing to all other nuts, it's having low glycemic index food. Okay, so that is the preferred choice that the patient is taking that particular fruits, the dry fruits. Okay, so only eating almonds is not helpful anyway. So it may also only fulfill your nutritional aspect, but at the same time, while eating the almonds, you should be a great thinker. It's a higher order thinking skills. Again, I want to just highlight, so might be like this topic is not relevant to this, but just I want to highlight, because many pharmacy students are there online and then, they are watching us. So I want to just tell here, I want to quote here, higher order thinking skills. So as you know that in our Indian curriculum, we are following the essay writing questions and, so maybe like many universities, they don't have MCQ till date. So now we need to move forward to the MCQ. So in order to that, we need to have some Bloom's taxonomy. So going for the Bloom's taxonomy is not only the answer. We need to train our people, the faculty, and then after that, we need to instruct the student accordingly. And by that way, we can have some higher order thinking, because simply we cannot shift from one platform to another platform. So that may sometimes not beneficial for the student. Again, if we are going for the comparison of traditional teaching and modern teaching, so what is the difference? How we improved ourselves? So why this all background information is necessary? Because this is the process. So you should know the process first, then only you can understand the importance of self-reflection. So as you know that in traditional teaching, we used to have the blackboard, and many teachers, they have the one-way communication. So there is no two-way communication. So actually many universities now adopted a new methodology of having the many universities they are having now. Can you please mute? Can you please mute the other participants? Yeah. So actually the many universities, they accepted the change, and then they are having now the online teaching, or the small group teaching. So in that small group teaching, actually there is a person to person contact, and then face to face they can talk with each other, and after that the communication will be better instead of talking with the student in one lecture hall. So the small group teaching, the problem based learning, the case based learning comes here in the blended learning. So blended learning, actually it's a sort of using the blackboard as we use in our conventional way, but it is not like conventional way we are using the blackboard, but it's a digital board with the digital pen. We can have the many teaching tools. So teaching tools, like you have the many teaching tools, the software, the app. As such, you can use the LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube as a teaching tool. So you can learn many things from it. Even though by sharing the WhatsApp video, you can learn many things. So obviously now we can see there is a change in the awareness. So comparison with the traditional teaching and in the olden days, nowadays we have the educational awareness, educational environment. So that particular environment only give us a right choice to use the right particular app or right tools to use for the betterment of the student. So again, I want to just quote one example here, like teaching tools. So as we grown in our traditional teaching, so comparing with the modern teaching, so my daughter, I want to just quote the example of my daughter. Everyone is having in their home somebody they are learning from them. So my daughter, one day she told me that she's 7 years old. She told me that I created my own YouTube channel. So I learned from her, because I don't have up to that moment my own YouTube channel. So I told, who taught you to create your own channel? So she told, I just want to educate people, and then I want to show my toys. So whenever she brought some toys from the market, she will explain to the to the online viewers, and as like she knows everything, like the subscriptions, like how many subscribers she have and everything. So that is the main point here, the traditional teaching and the modern teaching. So we need to adopt that. So this is in point of staff as well as for the student, so we can learn from each other. So there is no fear, there should not be any fear that we cannot learn from each other. So it should be the classroom teaching should be more interactive rather than passing the information just to the student. So that change actually the occur in some universities already, but some are still adopting it, and maybe we need to have some major changes in our Indian curriculum. So that might be the one of the hurdle we have right now. So in this 2 months time period, so what I did, so actually I'm having a reading habit. So sometime I will read articles. So from that, what I learn now, so I prepared my own code. So it's not there in the internet. So actually I search in the Google also, but I'm not able to find it. So actually this is my own. I prepared the code. So the code is live in present, think about future, and learn from reflecting on your experience. So ultimately we are doing it, but we don't know the meaning of self-reflection. So that is how we are doing it, but might be we are not aware about the terminology. So there are many terminology we are following, but we are not aware about that. So for doing all these things and having the higher order thinking, and we talk about the Bloom's taxonomy. So you need to nurture your brain to adopt new things, as like in COVID-19 situation, many colleges organizing the online events, the online webinars. So how we can learn from it? So take it positive, take that challenge as an opportunity, and then you can find the ways. So always, with my opinion, I find opportunities in between challenges. Okay, so this is the way how you can take it. Again, self-reflection, how we can define it. Self-reflection is an engine of your performance. So many of us, we have the performance criteria in colleges, in organization. For the student also, we have the performance criteria, like how the students are performing in a class. Again, I want to just put one example here, like whenever we are purchasing any car or any vehicle or bike, so we are always main concern about the performance of that particular vehicle. So what is the average, what is the performance? So it's all about engine. So which type of engine that particular car is having, or the bike is having. So self-reflection is an engine of your performance. So if you don't reflect, obviously you're not going to perform, or if you are performing also, it's not up to the mark. So whatever the energy you have, you can utilize if you have the good self-reflection in your life. So again, another thing, you can see the mirror. So mirror of the particular, the car, the four-wheeler. So self-reflection, how the mirror is having the self-reflection. So everyone is having mirror in their home. So everyone is watching in the mirror at least once in a while. So what you see in mirror, so you can see your face, you can see your hairstyle. So might be somebody is thinking, oh, my hairs are grown now, I need to cut it down. Okay, so this is the way how you think, by looking at your own face. If you're angry, your face will be looking like you're having some anger. Okay, if you're stressed, the face will be looking like you're tense, you're having some tension. Okay, so this is how we look ourselves only at the outer side. But how many of us will look inside, the inward, the inner side? Okay, so this inner side or inward means is a self-assessment, and that is the part of self-reflection. So say suppose I just want to quote here the example, like the student, if they want to self-reflect, so they need to reflect in such a way that how I'm working and how I'm going, you study. So how I'm going to study, and then how I'm doing that particular task. So might be assignment, might be presentation. So you should be innovative in such a way that you may score more compared to the all other students. So you should be innovative to have something different than compared to the other people. So obviously for that, you should have some critical thinking. When it comes to the pharmaceutical side, whenever you're citing any reference, it should be evidence-based. So you need to see the authenticity of the reference, and you need to see the particular literature that having the quality. So quality also matters. So in critical thinking, you need to see in a positive way that how you can develop your skills and how you can move forward. So there are many quotes, you may know that about the heart and mind. So sometimes, the mind is know about what's going on, but sometimes your heart is not able to adopt that. So it is all about, why I'm putting this example here, it's all about your adaptability and your readiness for any type of work. So it's all about the adaptability, the feasibility, and then readiness for your work. So again, here I want to quote one example like ways of working. So how you are working in your organization. So maybe like some of you are working and then in some organization, so you want to improve your way of working. So in order to do like that, in order to go for that working ways, you need to see what particular mistakes you are doing, what particular skills you need to adopt. So say suppose you want to be in some research, so you need to see what skills I'm lacking. So you need to fulfill that, try to fulfill that in that particular time. So give some time, have some time management, and then you can do the things in a better way. Okay, so why I shown this picture to you? So like I want to give you here the example of mirror, like just we are looking our outer side, how we are looking and other things, but very few people, they will see inside and they will think what's going on, to where I'm standing in my present, where I should be after my 5 years time, or maybe like you can set this target for your future plan. So this is the quote I like, and these are the two great psychologists. They have their many articles, and then they contributed well in the self-reflection process. So you can see here, great leaders develop through a never-ending process of self-study, self-reflection, education, training, and experience. You can think about any your mentor, or maybe anyone in the in internationally or nationally. So you can see this lining. See, this is the lining having much impact. So if you know this, the quote, so you can understand. So great leaders develop through a never ending process. So it will take time. So be patient. So what I'm going to say here is, you should have the patience. Okay, you should reflect on yourself, get a training. Say suppose in this situation, if you don't know how to handle the digital platform and everything, so you should have some training courses, you should learn something new. So that is the training works here, and obviously the experience. So if you have any experience, find out the mistake and learn from it. The another quote is, we do not learn from the experience, we learn from reflecting on the experience. So again, I want to tell you here, experience will only matters if you are adopting your mistakes and then you're correcting it. If you're letting it down as such, then there will not be a growth in your career. So that mainly applies to all. It's not only to the individual. So it applies to all human being, individuals. So to my opinion, nothing is permanent. So all we know that nothing is permanent. So today I am having this opinion. Maybe, some sort of thing may change my opinion after 1 year. So nothing is permanent. And I like that. Nothing is permanent, and the change is always needed. And change is only the thing is permanent in the world. So as a teacher, I believe in simplified teaching. So what do you mean by simplified teaching? Simplified teaching is not all about 1 + 1 = 2, but it's all about how you are going to deliver your content, how you are going to deliver complex things to the simple things to the student, how the student can understand in your classroom, how it should be more connective, it should be more interactive, rather than explaining the things from your own side. So that is the misconception we have in our some education system. So the student should need to be more proactive, to learn from each other, and they also can share some views in every class. So that's how we can go to the next level. So as like, the example of ranitidine. So we know the many drugs are there. So sometime we need to see the recent literature, what's going on. So about the catifloxacin, about the ranitidine, and many, the list is more. Okay. So you need to be evidence-based whenever it comes to the teaching. You need to deliver the content very properly and with the evidence base, with the proper resource, with the proper citation. Learn from everyone. So this is very important. I follow this aspect, in my life, and then to my opinion, learn from everyone is the very good idea. So you can learn from anyone something. It's not all about the negative or positive. Many people, they have the many skills, the positive skills. So you can learn, you can adopt that. Teamwork works. So whenever you are working in team, alone, you cannot do many works at a same time. So you should have a good team. So if you have the good team, then you can see the growth in your coming time. For that, also you should have the proper collaboration and also the integration for making that team efforts. Don't keep any fear in mind to improve. So don't hesitate. If you don't know the online teaching, how to use that, you can see the YouTube video. So everything is available online nowadays, So just you type the keywords, correct keywords in the Google, in the YouTube, and then how you can find the many literature, many the things. If you want to study, if you want to learn any new app, so just you need to type YouTube in the YouTube, and then you can get some video relevant to that, and just follow that. So it applies to all. It's not all about the only learning process. If you want to have something like the cooking habit and the cooking passion, so you can search in that, and then you can find the many things. You can select appropriate one, whichever is relevant to you. See the problem with every perspective. So first of all, this is a leadership quality. So you need to think about all the aspects. It's not all about what is your opinion. So what I'm giving you is my opinion. Some may agree with that, some may not. So that's why you need to see the problem with the every perspective, and you should be positive. So that is the leadership quality. So if you have the challenge in face-to-face teaching because of Corona pandemic, so you find the ways to deliver the content online. So that's why we are using the digital platform today. So you are sitting at the other place, I'm sitting in Malaysia, and you're sitting in India, and then we are communicating with each other. So that is how you can accept the challenge and go for the opportunities. Learn from every subject individual. So you may learn from everyone. So like subject, why I given the subject or individual? So particularly I given the particular words, so that have the meaning here, subject or individual. You can learn from animals, how they are caring in a challenging time. You can see lots of the discovery channels. So you can see how they are behaving in their challenging time. So be your own edition instead of limited edition, and learn from your experience. So these are the actually a research article related with the self-reflection in the course evaluation. So how the self-reflection is important in our teaching, how it is going to be beneficial for the student. It's not all about the pharmacy student, but it's mainly common with all the areas. It's not only limited to the pharmaceutical education, as I told you earlier. Okay, so these are the two articles I mentioned here. So later you can have a look on it if you want to study this self-reflection in detail. So these are actually the research article they published in some few years back. So what are the benefits of self-reflection? So by reflecting yourself, you know your weaknesses, you know your challenges, you know your advantages, you know your limitations. So by that way, if you're reflecting yourself, so that will beneficial in planning as well as priority based approach. Because in self-reflection, there are many areas to be considered. So whenever you're reflecting, some may have the family priority, some may have their workplace priority, some may have their other priorities. So the priorities are different. Every individual is different. So obviously the priority will be different. So it's not all about your planning, but it's all about also the priority. So both the factors are playing important role in the self-reflection. Setting and achieving goals. So today you are thinking something. So after 5 years, where I should be. So you plan accordingly, you set your goals, and after that you can try to get that particular things what you plan today. So that might be affected due to various reasons. So that may have some problems while achieving that things. So change your plan accordingly. So as we plan our education to be delivered face to face, but because of this pandemic situation, we are shifting to the online. So in that the same way, you need to change your plan. So that's why I told earlier, you should have the standby or your backup plan. So reflecting yourself, again, it will be beneficial with the dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression. So just I'm telling to all of you, you may have something in your mind that may sometime affect your performance. So that thing actually you need to see the solution for it rather than thinking for the problem every time. So if you are thinking for the problem, you may have a stress, anxiety, depression. So obviously that will affect your performance. So recognizing and overcoming on the obstacles. So you need to find the solution. Rather, you just discuss problem all the times. So these are the some few benefits I mentioned here for the self-reflection, that what I thought is very important that you should know. So elements of the self-reflection. So what are the elements that related with the self-reflection? So self-reflection, the word might be new for some of you. Some may know that. So for having good self-reflector or self-learner, you should have the good habit of lifelong learner. So what is the meaning of lifelong learner? As I told you before, this is all about how you adopt to the new things, how you are learning lifelong. So that might be reading the books, that might be accessing some online platform, that might be using some YouTube video to learn something, or any other platform. So that is the case. The lifelong learning comes here. Experiential learning. So what do we mean by experiential learning? Learning from your experience. Find out mistakes, what mistakes you did. Try to patch up, try to overcome on it, and then find the solution. So that all about experiential learning. So experience give you some sort of learning in that case. Obviously, if you're having lifelong learning, experiential learning, you will get motivation. How you will get motivation? Because of you have the confidence. Because you're reading something, you know the content, you know the literature. So that is how you can defend, and that is the case. In that case, you will get the more confidence. And once you have the confidence, obviously there will be some self-motivation. So don't expect motivation from every one of you in the environment. Might be you're from your boss, you're expecting something, self-appreciation. So in that case, you should be self-appreciate. So appreciate yourself, self-promotion. So in that case, if nobody is appreciating you for something, then you need to see about self-appreciation. So that also will give you one type of motivation within you, and then it will be better to go further. Critical thinking, as we discussed earlier also, critical thinking. So you need to be think critically. So it's a deeper learning. So if you want to learn some subject, maybe some are referring 5 articles, some are referring 50 articles, some are referring 500 articles. So what is the difference? So that is the case here. The role of critical thinking comes here. So meanwhile, you're doing your MPharm project or maybe your PhD thesis. So you need to be very critical in that way to choose the appropriate references and also the quality citation. Again, there is another important factor here is adaptability, variability, feasibility, and compatibility. So these are the factors might have impact on your plan. So whatever you plan today may not happen after 5 years because of the adaptability. You may not able to adapt it. Variability, might be some struggle came in between and there is a variation in your plan. Feasibility, might be it is not feasible to you because your family members are with you and then it's not possible to go beyond that limit. So it's about feasibility. Compatibility, so whenever if you are a leader in some organization, so you should have the compatibility with your staff or maybe like the employees, those are working there. So you should be a good leader to have a more compatibility with all others, your colleagues. So leadership quality, so leader is always creating a second leader or the followers. So it's not only about the followers, but it's all about the creating new leaders. So that is the real quality of the leader. So don't only create the followers, but create another leader within all those are following that particular leader. So self-enhancement, so self-appreciation, self-development, and self-enhancement. So what is the self-enhancement? So you have to enhance yourself, self-esteem. You need to check what is my worth. As everybody should look into this parameter. What is I'm going to worth for this particular life? So that is about self-esteem. Coming to the next point is the importance of self-reflection in development. So many people find it difficult, to reflect. So why they find it very difficult to reflect? Why? Because might be some they are not aware, they misunderstood, or their understanding for the self-reflection is not very clear. So that is the case why there are certain hurdles the people don't want to reflect. Okay, so some don't see the benefits of doing self-reflection. So they don't find any benefits of doing self-reflection. So that's why they don't want to find their mistakes and they don't want to learn from that mistake. So it's individual. So person to person it may vary. Some they're ready to accept it, some they don't want to admit. So if you don't want to admit, obviously you may have same mistake in your life again and again because you are not learning from that particular mistake. So why is self-reflection important for you? Here I am presenting some of important key elements that might be helpful for all of you. So as an individual, as an author, because self-reflection starts where? Self-reflection will start from your own way. There is no right, there is no wrong self-reflection because every individual is different. Every individual's priorities are different. So as I told you, some may give the priority with their work, some may have the priority with their life. So it's all about the individual. So why you do and why you do it? So the basic question is first, what you do. So for example, I just want to quote here the example related with our pharmacy student. So if you are doing some experiment in the laboratory, like preparation of some emulsion or suspension, or might be you're involved with the patient counseling. Okay, so in that case you should know first what you do. Okay, so you need to follow some SOP. So you need to add ingredient accordingly to form a proper emulsion or suspension. So if you are not adding it properly, so you may not have the proper final product. Same goes for the chemistry. So you are synthesizing some product, so you may not have the proper product at the end. So there are many reasons why you're not having the proper product. There are many reasons. Okay, so what you do, so you should know first what you're doing and why you're doing it. So just for sake of doing it, don't do it. Apply it. You need to see how you can apply in your practical life. So if you are preparing something, you need to see how you're going to do that in your real life. So because you are a pharmacist and now you may become in, you are going to have your job in, might be in the hospital, might be as a community pharmacy, might be as a clinical, might be, in the industry. Okay, some may have their own pharmacy. So in order to get all these aspects, you should know that how to apply your knowledge. So don't only study about theoretical things, you need to apply it, because that is the basic concept of the self-reflection. So that is the way how you can improve yourself, and then you can also give feedback to your organization, or might be teacher, or might be your higher authority. So in that way they will also get benefit from that, and then they can improve and move forward. So you can see here what is the current me or future me. So you can see here your today's time, the current time, and then your future. So you can also know about how I can move forward to achieve something. So in order to achieve that, improve yourself, your awareness. Okay, so that is very important, self-awareness. So this is a important factor coming here in the self-reflection. Critical thinking, as we discussed earlier, I don't want to again discuss here the critical thinking. Provide perspective, solution. So you're providing some perspective, some solution. So might be, you're talking your problem with 10 people. Same 10 people may have their own perspective about that. They have the different solution. So might be you didn't think about in that way, in that direction, but sharing your things, you may have some good suggestion, opinion on it, and then finally you can get some proper way how you can tackle with that particular problem. Again, self-reflection will improve your build up and confidence. So it will improve and build up the confidence among you as you are having motivation, critical thinking, and improving yourself. So obviously it will improve your confidence. Challenge your assumption. As I given my opinion earlier, and I told you nothing is permanent. So challenge your assumption. So what is your opinion? Challenge your opinion and see whether you can improve it further, rather than sticking on the same point. So I don't want to stick on the same point always. I always refer, and always I want to improve. So challenge your assumption, challenge yourself. So challenging yourself is more challenging than dealing with the challenge in the challenging time. So this is a very important quote here, that challenge your own opinion and then learn from it, and then you can grow further. In order to self-reflect, you should have the proper time management, efficient way of doing it in the future, decision making with the pros and cons. So whenever you're a leader, you need to make some decision. So obviously there are pros and cons. So it's all about the calculated risk. So as we know in our pharmaceutical education, there's a benefit to risk ratio. So we are selecting a medicine or any other treatment with the keeping all benefits and risk in our mind. So what are the benefits the patient will get? What are the risk factors? So always there are pros and cons for the some reason. So you need to be decision maker. You need to be take a risk in a calculative way. This is very important, calculative. So it's not a risk about, it's all about how you take a calculative risk. So always you know what are the benefits I'm getting, what are the risk factors I may face too if I'm taking this risk. So in that way you can plan. So what is the process of self-reflection? So this is the actually there are two steps in the self-reflection process. So the first will start from reflect on yourself. So how you are going to reflect on yourself? So this mainly includes analyzing yourself with all the pros and cons. So as you know your limitation, your weakness, your challenges, and also at the same time you know your skills, your advantages, and then you know your positive sides, your positive attitude. So that is the first part comes here in the process of self-reflection. So this is the process, is the first step. Coming to the next step, that is a step 2, is a priority-based reflection. As I told you earlier, some may have the priority with their family, some may have the priority with their work or health or life planning. So always the reflection, writing reflection, it's may sometimes have the struggle because of this all the factors. So because every individual will give priority to the different parameters. So first comes here in family. So family mainly includes the parents, spouse, children, extended relatives. Okay. So at the same time, while achieving something, you need to take care of your family and obviously your all the relatives. So sometimes some may have the problem while achieving their goals. So why I'm telling this? So you need to plan accordingly. So that is the reason why you need to consider the factors that influence the reflection writing. The another factors comes here is a life planning. What is a life planning includes? So mainly it's include the financial planning. So it's applies to all. It's not only about the it's applied to the general people. The financial planning, everyone is having their own planning. Some may plan well in advance, some may plan late, some may don't have their plan also, so that is also very important, the life planning. And also the time management, as I highlighted earlier, the time management, you can devote some time for something. Again, I want to quote here the example. As one day I was talking with my daughter, she told me, I want to become, the artist and also the designer. I told, what is the difference? Just for the, just for the sake, I asked her, because I want to know what she knows. So just I asked, is that similar or is different? So she told, no, it's a different. It's a, the designer is different and artist is different. So I told, who taught you these things? So she told, no, I thought accordingly. And, I thought like how many hours in day we have. So I told 24 hours total time. So she told, okay, half, how many? So I told 12 hours. Okay. So then she told again half, how many hours? I told 6 hours. So she told, okay, I want to work 6 hours for my, my passion for designing and also for the artist, 6 hours. So she have something in her mind. So sometimes we need to see their perspective also. So that's why I told earlier, we can learn from everyone. We need to think their thought process. So everything will come when, if you have the good thought process, the thinking process. So that's how you can manage your time. So if you, as a student, you need to see your time period. So morning to till evening, what you need to do. So maybe the classes, maybe the practical, and then after evening time, what you're going to do. to whom you are going to give your time. So time is very precious. Okay, so you need to give your time accordingly, and then you need to spend it properly with the proper people, because the environment also affects your critical thinking. That is the another research. So it's always matter to whom you are spending your precious time, the environment, because sometime the environment won't allow you to grow further, and because of that, that is the situation why you stuck in between and you are not able to grow. So very important, the time management is a very good aspect in regards with the self-reflection. So coming to the next point, work. So maybe some are giving more priority their career planning, workplace relation, and the management. If they have the, some role of leadership. So some are managing some organization. So they have much more workload. So they need to manage accordingly with their work-life balance, as we discussed earlier. Health. Some of us might be more, aware about the health, but nowadays, because of our busy schedule, we are not giving much time for the health. So obviously, you need to be physically fit. So physical fitness also plays more important role in the self-reflection process. The nutritional diet, you need to have the nutritional diet instead of having, all the junk foods like pizza and then, burger and everything. So nowadays, our culture and then, our habit of eating also changing. So that also have the impact on many things. So in order to overcome on it, you need to see your health also, you need to see your physical fitness, and then you need to have some nutritional plan, or maybe you can have some nutritional food along with your diet. So it's not about the eating good foods, those are having high calorie, like fried foods and something like that. So at the same time, you need to see and eat the salad. Stress reduction, everyone is having that stress. So as I told you, meditation. So meditation is a one thing you can reduce your stress. Sports activity, you can play something, you can divert your mind, and then you can relieve your stress. Healthy living. Healthy living is consist of all the factors of nutrition and physical fitness. Social, at the same time, you need to be social. You need to be communicate with your friends, community, environment. So what's going on in the environment, you should have some picnic plan. So all the things will come in the social bonding. So how you are maintaining that. Development, so it's mainly includes the lifelong education, values and morals. Self-esteem, as I told you, self-esteem is like, you should know your worth and don't compromise with your self-esteem. So that is the main pillar how you can grow with the next stage. Recreation, so some may have, the music hobby or art hobby or sports, travel, rest and leisure. So do it accordingly. So spirituality, life purpose, you should know your life purpose, what you're going to do and how you're moving forward for the next level. Moral and ethics, so keep your moral and ethics to achieve your goals and the targets. Okay, so these are the references I use for my today's presentation, and let's contribute to pharmacy education and research by enhancing the quality education. So this is the message I want to give you at the last. So contribute to the pharmacy education as well as research to enhance the quality education. So thank you so much. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me, or you can type in, the message box so that I can answer. Okay, any question? Dr. Subhash, am I audible?
Yeah. You are audible, and thank you very much for your nice presentation and information.
Okay, thank you.
We have some questions from the participants. So, shall I ask the question of
Yeah,
participants?
please proceed. Please proceed. Yeah.
Okay. So, one of our faculty asked, how can we develop higher order of thinking in our students according to the Bloom's taxonomy? So, this is a question regarding the Bloom's taxonomy. You
Okay.
have,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So actually, the higher order thinking. So as if you're thinking about our Indian curriculum, so we don't have that particular practice. So we need to improve, and we need to go further beyond that while having our conventional teaching methodology. And then what we can do in that aspect is to create some scenario based question. And again, you need to train the student accordingly. So what you can do, you can make it habit by giving some question in a classroom, so that the student can understand. Say suppose just for example, I want to tell you about this the Bloom's taxonomy. So it's actually higher order thinking. So the first level is knowledge base. So knowledge base means what is tablet, what are the types of tablet. This is everyone knows. So it's not the higher order thinking. So higher order thinking means you need to give them some industry oriented scenario. So this case happened in particular in that industry. So what factors affected that particular manufacturing? So that might be the scenario based question, and that reflects the higher order thinking. Whenever it comes to the clinical scenario, you can give the cases of patient and then tell them what is the diagnostic condition in this scenario if the patient is having this type of sign and symptoms. So I know this is very we need to take a lot of efforts. It's not easy, but nothing is impossible, because we need to move forward. So in that case, we need to develop the habit of doing the things. Give them some assignment, give them some the assessment part, so that they can learn first, instead of shifting from this our conventional way of teaching and assessment. So assessment is very important. You cannot simply shift from one place to another place, because it takes time to adopt. So that's why adaptability role. So role of adaptability is much important here. So for that, we need to have some training, we need to have some workshop, both for the faculty, both for the student. So everyone should be on the same page. They should not confuse, they should not get confused in between. So everyone should be on the same page. If we have the proper standardization, proper the training, proper workshop for both of them. So actually it's a good initiative to, if you're thinking about the Bloom's taxonomy and setting the question accordingly with the higher order thinking. So it will also create the critical thinking in the student mind, and then they will prepare accordingly for their assessment. So in short, what I want to say you, in short, you should have the build up their habit in such a way that they should face problem very correctly, and they don't have any hurdle while facing that particular question. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes. You're right. Next question. That is, can we correlate a self-reflection to the that is SWOT analysis? Means strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis.
Yeah, you can do you can do that. You're talking about the analysis, right? So if you're doing some research work, right? You're talking about that. Okay. So just now I shown you two papers, right? So one is from the elsewhere. So I quoted the reference also. Okay. So you can see what type of particular method they adopted and how they took the feedback from the student. And the conclusion is that some of them, they given the feedback. So I'm not sure what particular feedback you are following for your lecture or for your practicals, but you can move forward and then you can adopt some the new way of taking the feedback. So how you can take a feedback? So actually there are ways to do the feedback. So you can get two-way feedback. Okay, so two-way feedback means like the student will give the feedback on your task, and then you give your feedback to the student again. So it's a like two-way process. Only getting the feedback from the student is the another thing, but taking their feedback and giving again the feedback on that same feedback given by the student, so it will complete the process. Okay, so here obviously you can do the SWOT analysis, you can do, and you can find out the the weaknesses, and then what are the strengths in the student. That always you can do that. That is a good initiative, I can say. And again you can I want to quote one example here, how this analysis will be helpful for you. As I know that I was there in 2014 before in India as a assistant professor. So that time I know that MQA was following some the scale. Okay, so that is another part.
Right.
Just yeah. So that you can utilize that thing in that way. So you can do that SWOT analysis. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question is how to overcome the confusing state of our mind so that we can focus on our chosen career.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good question actually. Many people, they are having confusion. Still, we are, growing and getting mature, but still we have the confusion at some time, right? So sometime like, our mind is saying something, our heart is saying something, and then we don't know from where the signal is coming, and we are, ready to accept it sometime. So in that situation, you need to see what is your priority. So that's why I given the reflection process. So this question is mainly related with the priority base. So you need to see what is your priority, give the priority to them, and then you can move forward. Maybe like, you plan something, maybe in between you have hurdles, you have problems, and then you change your plan. So that's why you should be ready for your backup plan. So confusion comes where? Because you don't have the confidence, you don't have your priority. So moreover I can say that the priority is much important while selecting your career, while selecting where you want to be after some time. So that is my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question, that is how self-reflection is different from the meditation.
Okay, meditation is the basic basics of stress, and whenever you're doing the meditation, okay, it will relieve your stress, anxiety. So in other way, you're doing some meditation, you're adopting some things, you're thinking something in your mind while doing the meditation also. Okay, so it's not blank always, right? So you cannot be a blank. If you're doing the meditation also, you're thinking something. So might be that will be helpful to relieve your stress. In short, what I can say, you are finding the solution of your problem. Everybody is having the problem, right? Everyone is having the problem. So meditation will give you the solution of it, and that is the basics of self-reflection. So self-reflection and meditations are counterparts of each other. Okay, they are different, but that is the component, that is a the key elements of the self-reflection. So they are counterparts of each other. So meditation mainly, it will relieve your anxiety, stress, anger. And again, why it is possible? Because you're doing self-analysis in the meditation, right? You're looking at your inner side, as I've given the example, the mirror, right? So you're looking outside only, right? So you can see how your hair grows and everything, but how many of us looking at the inner side? That matters. Okay, so that comes here in the meditation, and that is the basis for the self-reflection. So that will help you to reflect in a proper way. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you. I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Generally, what happened in India and most of the in our Vidarbha region, most of the students those are studying in our colleges, they are from the rural areas.
Yeah,
So they have some sometimes or almost the fear factor in their mind regarding the improvement. So
yes.
what they should do?
Yeah. So fear, there are different types of fear, right? So might be, in the conventional time, we have the fear of talking with the teacher. So
Yeah.
the teacher is coming to the classroom and just, delivering the lecture. So that was the earlier time. Okay. So that time, that was the fear. But nowadays, I don't think that that is a fear nowadays. But at the same time, why you have the fear? Because I told you types of fear, right? So you need to make it habit of reading something. You need to think critically, your thought process. So that is all about your thought process. So if you have any problem, if you have any understanding problem, do contact with your teacher, take their time, take their appointment, and then try to resolve that problem. If that problem keeps going on in your mind, that fear will build up, and that fear will lead to loss of confidence. So say suppose, for example, for the student, I want to quote here one example. If you have fear of exam, I know many people have the fear exam. Okay, so why you have that particular fear? Because you're not confident, you have not prepared for it. Okay, so if you prepared properly, you don't have the fear. So what you can do for that, list down it, write down. Everyone, I told you, everyone is different. The my way of thinking, the my way of doing everything is different than all others. So what I felt, doing something that will make me more happy. Okay, so say suppose I give here the example. So write down all the points, what particular points that creating the problems. Okay, and what you need to do for it. So that particular, you're finding the solution for that. Again, if you have the fear of exam, prepare for it, because exam will be there on that date. They won't postpone for you, right? So you need to prepare. So that self initiation is very important, because teacher will not come to your home on that day. You need to prepare. So self initiation is very important. Okay, so nowadays, the teacher is not all about teaching in a conventional way, but these are, they are just guiding to the student, because we need cooperation from both the ends. It's not all about the teacher. So we need the student initiation also. If they don't want to learn, how we can teach them? So that factor also very important. So if you are facing some exam, prepare for it, write down all the points. Say suppose, for example, I will tell you, refer all the question bank what you have in your library, or maybe I don't know, the digital library or whatever the source you have, maybe the hard copy. So you refer that. Okay, and then you take a guidance from the teacher if you have any difficulty. So list down all the things. So these are the two points I given here. The one is like referring the bank question, and then you reflect on yourself, what
Right.
mistake you did in your exam last time. Don't repeat it.
Yes. Okay.
Otherwise you won't learn, because every time the teacher can't help. This is a fact, and we need to we need to accept it. So that's why the role of self initiation comes in. So we need a cooperation from both the end. So it's a two-way process. It's not all about the giving the lecture at one end and just listening in the class. So it should be more interactive, that will build up the confidence in the student. And obviously in near future we won't have the student that will say I'm having the fear. So it's like that. So we need a cooperation from both the ends. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you. I think there is some questions from panel also. There are a lot
Yeah,
of
please,
questions,
please,
but
sure, sure, sure. You
I
can ask.
choose a very few one. I request the panelist if you have any question, so please ask.
Yeah,
Just
please
unmute,
ask me.
unmute your mic.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to answer you. Yeah, no problem.
Unmute your
Hello.
mic and ask.
Hello,
Yeah, please.
Praveen sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Thank you for a nice discussion about this reflection. It is
Yeah.
really a need of for our student as well as everyone who wants to develop his or their skill.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this question, maybe from student point of view, my question is related to student. Lot of student just wasting their time just by wasting on internet, not doing right things, and it is really needed for such type of student. They should reflect where they are and where they want to go. Means actually this reflection is needed to the student, but what will be your suggestion for such type of students that just wasting their time, not thinking about career, and that is really needed for such type of student?
Yeah. That's why, the self initiation comes from their end,
Yes.
so that's why we cannot spoon feed everyone, so that's why the self initiation should start from the student end also. We are ready to guide them, but they need to use resources at the proper time in a proper way. That's why the roles of time management. You can do the things, you can see the movie, you can watch any the serial online or whatever you want, you can watch the Netflix or anything else, whatever you feel good, but at the same time you need to be do your study also. Okay, and you need to reflect what and how you perform in your exam. Even if you're not reflecting on your performance in your earlier exam, you won't grow, so obviously you need to reflect what you're doing. Are you on the right track? Because the many students have the many habits. You need to see which habit is good for me, which is not good for me, which is a bad, you know again, in that way, if you're reflecting, then you can minimize that particular habit of doing it again and again. And then at the same time, you think about your career, where you want to be. Okay, where you want to be after certain period of time. So that's how the student, they can use the proper channel, use the proper resources to utilize their knowledge. That's why self reflection comes where, because you need to utilize your energy in a proper way. Okay, so utilize your energy in a correct way, in an efficient way, so that you won't have any hurdle in your career. Okay, so as a student, if you know many things, if you're developing the skills, if you're developing your knowledge, that obviously will help you in your career. Wherever you go, you may have, you may join as a lecturer, you may join in industry, or you may join in any other institute, organization. So knowledge will help you always. So utilize your time. And obviously we cannot monitor, we cannot spoon feed each and everyone, but the self initiation from the student is very, very important.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I request again another anyone from the panelists, if you have any question, so you can ask.
There are a lot of these we can say motivational videos, motivational series, motivational some lectures online also. They can use these lectures for their growth, mental growth, as well as their spiritual growth.
Exactly. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do given you some of the information, like you can use Facebook, even you can use the LinkedIn, you can use YouTube, even WhatsApp. You learn something, right? from it. So I told you, it's not all about the subject, but it's individual, and from animal also you can learn something. So learn from
Yes.
everyone. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much, sir. I think Biani sir have some questions.
Yeah,
Yes,
please,
thank you.
sir.
Yes, I'm very
Yes.
happy. Thank you so much, Dr. Ingre sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You have explained, you have gone through so many references, and you have collected all this information and put ready before us. So definitely reflection is a self-assessment, self-realization. Daily one should observe himself. Daily we should observe ourselves. Daily we should ask ourselves what you did today, day by day. Definitely due to this self-reflection, one can identify the weaknesses and definitely can enhance, can motivate himself, can increase the capacities, can motivate, and definitely it will help to build the career. So this is a very important topic. You have nicely explained. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. If please feel free, if you have any question, I'm ready to answer it. Yeah.
Okay. Kare sir.
No, sir.
Sir, most of the time what happen, we feel that we should do something else different because we are working under one roof. We are working since last 15 years in a particular organization or one type of job is there. So most of the time it feel there should be a change, right? So we should do something else. So what it indicate? What it indicate?
Yeah. Actually, that's why, it's about the priority. As meanwhile, I told you, right, so you need to take some, rest meanwhile while doing your job. So meanwhile, what happened in day-to-day life, we are not, knowing what we are doing actually, and we are doing the same, that work every day. We are getting wake up in the morning, taking tea, and just taking our breakfast fastly, and then just moving for our, the work. So at the same time, that's why the self reflection is very important, and also the time management. So you need to see how you're utilizing your time, how correctly you're utilizing that. Okay. And then how you have dedication towards everything. Why I told everything, because all it comes together, right? The life and your, the work and everything. So everything comes here as a priority. So every individual have the different priority. And say suppose you are working in the same organization from the long time, you need to be proactive, need to do something. As you organize the webinar today, that's why we are on the digital platform, we are communicating with each other. So you feel relaxed, you may relieve your tension, you relieve your stress in that way, anxiety. So do something new, right?
Okay.
Do
Yes.
something
Yes.
new, because the change is always required. So some colleges, they never accepted till date the online education, and so I don't know why.
Means
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying the means the change in working place or something change. Is it helpful for the development?
yeah, change is always better, but I don't give that suggestion to you. Okay. So obviously the change is good, but I don't specifically mention that thing to you. So
Okay.
what you can do, you can think in other way, like what is your weakness, what is your challenge, and uh, what you can do better than what
Yes.
you're
Yes.
doing right now. So you need to compare it, right? So say suppose
Yes.
where we are, we are just purchasing any mobile, right? So nowadays the many people, they are more fan of mobile. So why I'm quoting this example, because you market research first, right? While buying any product, TV or mobile and anything, you market research first, and then you are buying that product. You're comparing everything, the price, you're comparing the how it looks like. So if I want to buy iPhone, I will compare, okay, what is the feature of iPhone, what is the iPhone 10, what is the iPhone, what is the latest one, and then what is the configuration of other things, other mobile phones. Obviously I compare, right? So that's how the life goes, right?
Yes. 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 Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your nice presentation.
Yeah, thank you.
and information. So definitely we will make like that. So we will have these development through the self-reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I request,
Hello.
yes,
Hello.
Shailesh sir.
First of all, very thank you, sir, for giving a nice and very informative session. A very great presentation is there. I want to ask some question regarding the
Please.
student point of view. Some of the students personally message me as you are the alumni of ACP.
Yeah, sure.
We all feel very proud and very happy to listen you, hear you. I want to ask one question. So what are the different opportunities for the students for the new pharma freshers are there in the Malaysia regarding the further study and some, is there any different job opportunities for the freshers?
Okay, yeah, that's good question. Yeah. And many people won't answer it, but I will answer. I will answer it in a correct way,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I will answer in correct way, in a more frankly. So obviously you need to see the skills they required for their job, what particular skills they required. Meanwhile, if you're in your second year, if you're in your first year, start building that. Okay, I want to quote my example of myself. I started searching MPharm college from my third year, and I fixed my mind to do only in pharmacy practice. So I know my goal. I don't think about any other specialization. I just want to do it, in pharmacy practice.
Dr. Sai. Dr.
So do fix your target, and then you can achieve that target by having some particular steps regarding it. Okay, so what is my suggestion here? What the student can do now itself, they can see what the company wants, right? So as you know, we are purchasing some product as the same thing, so we need to have that particular quality. Okay, so that quality should be there in you. So if some job, they may require communication skill, build the communication skill. As you know, most of the job, I can say rather all the job that needs your communication, right? So if you have the good communication skill, further build up. If you don't have proper communication skill, try to build up with your up to the graduation, or maybe up to your postgraduate level. Try to see what is the requirement of the industry. Try to communicate with the alumni. Okay, so as you communicated with me, so maybe I learned something from you, from the question also. I learned what is going on, and so how the people are feeling about it, how the students are feeling about it, so I can see the learning process in the question also. It's not about the answering. I can see the learning process. So it's all about how you can take it. So now itself, you can start searching what is the requirement of the pharma company and how I can make that. Try to communicate with the alumni, those are in the industry. How there's some international this national webinar, or maybe some are maybe in the international level. So try to make that event happen. Let the student understand what's going on in the world. So if you are building that particular skills, I can say rather you won't get job in Malaysia only, but you will get job anywhere in the world. Don't limit yourself while searching the job only in specific the country, or only in India, but prepared for it. So if you have the passion, you can do it always. So what you need to do, you need to be have efforts for it. Okay, so nothing will come to you. So you need to do lot of efforts for it, and then try to achieve that particular things where you want to be after some time. Okay, so efforts always matter. So I don't suggest only to the final year student, go and see the skills. I even tell to the first year student, you can start build up now itself. Okay, don't wait, and don't wait to have all information from your teacher. you should have some self-directed learning. Okay, so as I told you, self-initiation, also the self-directed learning also plays a much important role in your personal growth, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
This
thank
will
you,
be
sir.
very helpful for us.
Thank you, thank you.
Any question from panelists? Now I request Principal Sir, please give the permission to inaugurate the participant certificate.
एक मिनट. हाँ, yes, Subhash sir, please.
Sir, please give the permission to inaugurate the
हाँ,
participant
yes,
certificate.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Deshmukh sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, participant certificate. Certificate of?
माझ्यावर टाकलं का, sir?
Yeah, mail. Yeah, already I have mail. Or give me. I can share.
Sir, मी mail बघतो. मी बघितलं, sir.
Or just stop this sharing. I can share.
Again, I just want to highlight here, Dr. Subhash.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. The way you started this session, like inauguration, right? So mainly we are doing inauguration in face-to-face, right? So, but
Yes.
you started with this online platform also. So I like the way you started the session, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Efforts made by Shailesh sir, Shailesh Barad sir.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
He
digital.
has prepared that particular slide.
Thank you.
Shailesh Barad sir yesterday night sent me this slide and say.
Yeah, that's
Digital
why
inauguration.
the innovation comes from, every mind is different. So that's how we can work together. So team efforts is always better rather than doing the, alone.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sir, 2 minutes.
Here I want to highlight Praveen sir.
Yeah, please.
1136 participants registered for this webinar, and apart from this, all participant means apart from this 500 joined through Zoom, and remaining take the advantage through the live streaming of YouTube.
That's great to hear the number of participants. And as I told you earlier, we will succeed if some of us they adopted this self-writing reflection. Okay.
Yes.
So we can consider we can succeed in that way if somebody is accepted that particular change and improve in their life. So that is the success of this particular international webinar. Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So I have prepared one certificate for the participant.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Deshmukh sir.
Download केले ना?
Yeah, both certificate you have to download. One for the participant and second for the appreciation, certificate of appreciation. And this last slide, really I like it. Means let's contribute to farmers' education and research by enhancing quality education.
Yeah. This
really,
is
it's a need. Yeah, really, it's a need. Today's needs.
Yeah. So it's all about your thought process, how you are thinking about that particular thing. So you can create your own code. So that I develop in in my 2 months time period in this lockdown period. Yeah, that I develop my new skill. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. Means you to, yeah, good. Deshmukh sir, otherwise just tell me, I can share certificate.
ओके सर मी एक सर स्टुडंटचं काढलंय बहुतेक माझ्याकडे स्टुडंट आलंय.
Hello. Subhash sir, you can also share your screen.
You can
Yeah,
share.
I'm trying, but not because already screen is sharing while other participant. The message is coming.
सर एक जस्ट मिनिट झालंय स्टुडंटचं निघालं सर.
One certificate of my name is there. That is a certificate of participant, and another certificate of appreciation. That is of our guest.
सर
Yes.
दिसतंय का?
No.
Screen is not shared.
Share the screen.
एक जस्ट स्क्रीनशॉट सर.
Yes.
स्क्रीनशॉटचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे इकडे.
So
Subhash sir, you can share your screen.
no. I'm trying, but could not.
Later stop their screen sharing, then you can easily share it.
सर
Yeah.
नेट मुळे होतो सर बहुतेक.
So stop this sharing. This slide you have. Praveen sir.
You stop your screen sharing.
Praveen sir.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Not responding.
Yes. Now.
Okay.
Yes, Subhash sir, you can share it.
सर स्टॉप झाले माझ्याकडून. तुमच्याकडून बघा.
Yeah, I stopped my screen sharing.
Yes. It's the sharing from Dr. Subhash Deshmukh. Yes.
Make it full screen, sir. Subhash sir. Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Good.
Excellent.
Subhash sir, very nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for your efforts for making this certificate and the way you given at the spot. I like the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Great, sir. Very nice.
Deshpande sir.
Yes, thank you all of you. Shall I continue, sir?
Yes.
Now at the end of session, I move toward the vote of thanks. First of all, on behalf of management, principal and staff, I hereby so much thankful to my friend Dr. Praveen Kumar Ingle because for giving the concern as just a speaker in one call me and conducted sir you a very nice session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also express my gratitude to the chairman, Honorable Siddhanathji Bondre sir, then Secretary Rahul Bondre for all their motivation and kind support. And the successful conduction of this webinar could possible due to time inspiration and guidance by our principal, my mentor, elder brother, Honorable Dr. Sri K.R. Biyani sir. So I extend my sincere thanks to sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Also, I am thankful to the Dr. R.H. Kale sir, Dr. R.R. Pagore sir for their kind support and motivation. I am also thankful to all the staff member of ACP for their support, because every day they are motivating me and just saying we are doing well, and definitely the webinar it will be historical. So thank you all the staff member of ACP. And last but not least, I am so much thankful to all the participants, those who have registered and attended this international webinar. So thank you so much. So with the permission of Principal Sir, I declare, sir, shall I declare?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I declare here this
Once
webinar
again,
is over.
We are grateful, Dr. Praveen Kumar Ingve. Be in touch with Anuradha College of Pharmacy.
Thank
This
you. Thank
is
you,
your
sir.
institute. Please do come whenever you come to India.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for your efforts, and your team efforts.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank
See
you all of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.